Good morning. I'm now going to do my painting. I've tidied up my art room so it's looking a lot better than it was. I'm now feeling inspired because as you can see all those pictures I did on my cruise over there, and I had my son come round with his girlfriend earlier and they would like me to do a picture for a birthday present for somebody and give me all the ideas. So from the aspect of learning the new skills from Cynthia Shanek on the Queen Victoria, she's taught me how to do the skyline and using a lot of yellow in there on the watercolours. So the picture I'm going to do is not going to have the tree or the boat, but it's going to have like nice sky, it's going to have sea, and it's going to have sand, because once I've got all the background I will then have some special words on there for it as a gift. So once again, all you need to do is make sure you've got your paper on there, your pencil or whatever you're going to be doing. Often I don't actually draw, I often just do it straight from my brush. So again, like I said, the best paper I find is the watercolour ones from Winsor & Newton, because it just means the pictures come up really well. For example, I go back to that picture. It's kept all the colours. It's, if you look into that picture, it's really sort of the deepness of it. It's a nice colour paper, so it's in between white and cream, but it's a really lovely, it doesn't go too wet and soggy and it just dries to perfection. So I was very happy with my sky there. So I am going to try to do something very similar, like I said. So I've got all my selection of brushes already. I've got my water. I've put my paper, as it's smaller paper than what I'd usually do, I've just used it on the upside down easel bit, like a box easel. I've got my palette, so of course I've been putting water in the wells and mixing my colour. You might go, oh no, that's dirty, but it makes a much nicer colour by using up all your old paints. So that, you know, that evaluates it into, instead of having a perfectly clean, squeaky clean one, which of course I have got a perfectly clean one because I do actually put them in the dishwasher. But for the colours I need today, for sea, sand and sky, I will need some like a bit muddy for the sand, etc. So that's why I shall be using that. I've got out my Winsor & Newton small palette there with the main colours, with what is again on the Queen Victoria. We only use these colours and we managed to achieve all that with just this box, which is perfect. But because I'm me and I like to be a bit different, I do like to have the Winsor & Newton sort of like glimmery paints as well, all watercolours. I have got loads and loads of these, like the stacking ones from Amazon, because again you get some amazing colours on these, and they do have a really nice yellow and a lemon. So if I'm going to have a background on my sky to have as the light colours, that will be the best thing I can possibly do. Also, I would always still buy the cheap little packs from Temu, the little glitter packs, because they can nice to finish things off. But somebody purchased me this nice tin when I can open it. And again, that's got a really lovely array of colours, and I do use these a lot for my seas and you know, my skies, because there's some nice colour blues and that in there. So I'm all planned, I'm all prepared. I've got two bits of the paper because I'm going to do one upright and one crossways. So you won't really want to watch me do this because it's going to be really quite simple. Again, this particular size paper, I have to decide where I'm going to have my skyline. So skyline should always be straight. So I've put my paper straight, and it shouldn't be halfway across the page. It should always be sort of 3/4. So if I just put my skyline at 3/4, and I'm just going to put like a line, and this is a watercolour pencil, so I won't have to rub that out. But for my sand effect, I don't want it to be straight. I'm just going to do a diagonal across. So for example, you can see that is the shape it's going to be. So this top bit is going to be sky with a few birds, this middle section is just going to be sea, and this bottom part is going to be sand with a few little tree stumps and that. But because I want to be able to write on it, it's going to be not all the way to the ends. It's going to be like a really unusual sort of picture. So on that note, I shall let you all go, and then I shall do me wet bits, and then I'll record that and see whether you want to watch that as well. Bye for now. Hey ho, I'm getting excited. Haven't done painting at home for over 2 weeks. Bye for now.